excited to do this reptile room video today. I've wanted to do a reptile room video for a long time, and I thought that getting back from this trip recently is the perfect time because all the snake tanks have got poos, they need some clean water. So I figured I may as well bring you along while I clean them all out. And to make it even more exciting, I have two surprises. I've got a bucket full of 2 mice. I'm gonna get more mice and I'm gonna feed more of the snakes this video. Oh, shit. And I've also got this package that just came in the mail, and I'm excited to see it because this is gonna be cool. It's gonna be exciting, you'll see. I'm gonna put this package on the bench. You're gonna have to wait for a couple of tanks before you get to see what it is. We're gonna start with my pythons. I'm gonna work our way up on the venom scale. So the venomous snake's gonna be at the end of the video. This tank is my water python tank. It's honestly not the best. I'm hoping to get it into a bigger melamine tank. Initially we had this mock rocked and this was all water, but it didn't really work out. Okay, so now I've got this plastic water dish underneath the heat lamp. It's good with being underneath the heat lamp because it keeps it warm, and then it also keeps that tank humid as well. Oh there he is, he's up the back. I miss this tank down daily to keep it humid. It's a tropical snake, so they need that humidity. I've had this water python. This was the second snake that I ever got as a pet. Yeah, I really like it. I've had it for maybe 6 years now. But yeah, the plan is to have it in at least a 5-foot tank. It's still got a bit of growing to do, but I would like to get it into a bigger tank soon. And yeah, we'll get him out. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So this is my water python. It's a bit of a spaz. In the tank, he bites so much. He's never bitten me before, but that's because I never put my hand in the tank. If I put my hand in the tank, he would love to bite me. Outside the tank is a puppy dog, which is not actually that typical for water pythons. Usually they're quite a savage snake. They're not very friendly. I think they're really underrated. I love water python. They're just so different. They're a really different snake, and it's just cool. Like the big tub, it doesn't look the best, but it's cool coming in here at night and seeing him fully submerged underneath the water with just his head sticking out, waiting in ambush. I don't think that there's many Australian pythons that you can see doing that. I love the yellow belly on them. As it gets older though, it's got a lot of speckling. It's weird. Like I've never seen a water python have this like weird subtle like speckling on it. Beautiful snake, always been a great feeder. And this is a male as well. He's got these, come in close, you can see those spurs on the tail there. So that's a telltale sign that you've got a male python. The males use those spurs to tickle around the tails of females during the breeding season to try and entice them to breed. For those of you that don't know much about water pythons and haven't seen my videos where I was out finding them in the wild, water pythons are one of the more common species across the northern tropical parts of Australia. As their name suggests, they sort of hang around the waterways, whether that's creeks, streams, or dams. They can get to over 2 meters long, and they're the snake that is known as the rainbow serpent. When they're in the sunlight, they have highly iridescent scales that reflect the sunlight and gives off this like rainbow sheen. And so that's why they're widely known as the rainbow serpent in Australia. Yeah, we've got this tub full of clean water. I find that every week or so they need clean water because their bowls start to go like, I don't know, they go all gross and slimy. They seem to be a lot more interested in the water when it's fresh. After a week, I feel like I rarely see the snakes drinking. But yeah, this hide is good because it is under the heat light, so it gets really warm through the day. And then underneath, there's a heat mat as well, so it's always got access to a warm hide. I came in last night and saw him sitting underneath in the warmth. Alrighty, so we're on to the next snake tank, which is my Brigalow Woma python. He's done a shed and a couple of poos since I left, so we've got a bit of cleaning to do. He's coming out. This is actually outside the snake room, so we're sort of cheating a little bit, but yeah. Beautiful Brigalow Woma. I don't trust him in the tank as well, just like the Woma. That's just like the water python. Let me get him out for you. Typical Woma. He's dumb, he bites everything in the tank. He thinks everything is food. That's why I'm sort of not letting him get close. But yeah, this is a nice Brigalow locality Woma python that I got, I think 4 years ago, maybe. It was bred by Peter Krause. The Brigalow set up for him. There's a nice stick there. It doesn't really look natural, but it gives him something to climb and bask on right near the heat light. Get away. What are you doing? He is getting too big for this tank. So by the next video, he will definitely be in a bigger tank, which is good. He's also a little bit fat. He's on a bit of a diet. But yeah, I really like this snake. I never really had much interest in Woma pythons. And yeah, I don't know. I saw this snake for sale at an expo and I was like, damn, that is sick. I love it. I got it. And yeah, it's been good. I really do like this snake. And it's cool just to have like a brigalow themed setup. I really like the brigalow belt. It's one of my favorite areas to herp. So to have a tank with like, I don't know, brigalow soil and stuff. This is not the final form. The brigalow tank that I've got envisioned is gonna be the goer. Small water bowl. Because it's an arid snake, it doesn't really need a big water bowl. But I've just missed it down the tank a little bit as well, just to make a bit of humidity, just for something different. I like to spice it up for the Woma. And every time you put something different or move anything around, he responds really well to it. He's always out smelling everything. Like, yeah, I've got this thing of leaf litter here. I'll just sprinkle this around and that'll spice him up. That'll give him something to sniff around tonight. Okay, so this tank is probably the nicest tank that I've got. I like it. We recently just redid the mock rock on it. This has gone through many phases. People that have been here and have visited will know the origin of this tank. I mock rocked it like 2 years ago and I was like, yeah, this looks sick. And it looks shit. And so we redid it and I was like, yeah, this looks sick. And then didn't like it after a month. So we redid it again recently. I feel like this will last me a few months before I change my mind again. I like it. I tried to get the dark rocks and stuff. And I recently got these off a tree off the parking city. Yeah, I think it looks cool. It's just meant to be, this is a North Queensland white tiger. So I recently got this snake as a female. Turns out it's a male. So yeah, I can't breed this snake. And this snake is over 15 years old, I found out, which is crazy. It's been on display at the Reptile Park for since 2013. So it's now 2025. So 12 years it's been on display at the Reptile Park and been getting handled every day and stuff. So now it's just enjoying its retirement in this nice big tank. I've got this devil's ivy growing and whatever this plant is. I don't know what this plant is, but I like the look of it. And it's doing really well. In every single tank, I've got UV. A lot of people don't think that you need UV for a lot of snakes, and maybe you don't, but I've definitely noticed a lot of brown tree snakes coming out to bask under the UV. This guy, who we'll get to in a second, basks every single afternoon like clockwork under the UV. To be honest, it's almost his time to bask. He might come out soon. But anyways, this snake is currently in shed. You can come in and have a little squiz of him in that little crevice there. It's a big Queensland night tiger. Really big snake, probably about 5 foot long, really healthy. And yeah, just puppy dog tame, fantastic feeder. We're not gonna get it out today because we just wanna leave it be. It's probably gonna shed within the next couple of days, and as soon as it does and it's looking schmicko, I'll take it out into the sun and get some cool shots. This is also a heated hide. All of the snakes, I try to give at least one heated hide. A lot of them don't use it often, but coming into winter, I'm hoping that they will. Yeah, that is this tank. I will see you. I'm gonna save that one because that's my favorite one. So we'll go to this tank with the package. Alright, so now that he's finally shed, you can get a bit of a look at my other male North Queensland night tiger, this big, over 13-year-old snake. This thing is an old timer. He looks really good out of shed, and he looks quite different from my other male North Queensland. He's got more of this chocolatish coloration and then some nice yellowish sort of colours towards the head. Brown tree snakes are rear fang, weakly venomous snakes. One of my favourite things about them is watching them eat. The way they eat is so cool, just working those rear fangs down the mice. And across their range, there's a fair bit of variation. The Eastern animals look like a completely different species to the top end night tiger colour form. You can see a bit of similarities between both of them in these North Queensland ones, but I love the bands in night tigers. They're so good. Alright, this is the tank that my little package is for, but before I introduce that, I'll explain this tank. So this is not really one of those naturalistic mock rock sort of tanks. 2 years ago, I would have had these Boigas in a big mock rock tank, but I've sort of got these snakes in a different setup. So these are 2 adult Easton brown tree snakes. They're a male and female pair that I'm hoping will breed this season. So I've got like 3 different temperature boxes here. So there's a heat map between 2. So I'll have a hot dry, a hot humid, and a cooler dry. And I've also got a little hide behind that. Big devil's ivy, lots of sticks for them to climb on. I've got another female Eastern brown tree snake in this tank down here. And I want to put all 3 of them in the tank together and see what happens. But I was waiting for her to shed. She shed a couple days ago. Now that she's shed, she's ready to go in. But I wanted this to come first. So this is a little mini camera. I'm gonna sit this mini camera up in the corner of the tank, and I want to see what happens the night that I introduce the female into that pair to make a nice little trio. I feel like when they first get introduced is when they're going to show the most interest. So yeah, we're going to open this bad bugger up. I actually don't, it's $10, so it might be shit. Okay, so how does this work? We'll come back once we figure this out. It's charging now. I'm going to set it up tonight and I'll put some footage in. Yeah, because we're going to pair some snakes up tonight, which is very exciting. Even though it was only $15, that camera was a waste of money. Got the light on now because it's getting dark outside. But anyways, this is a tank with currently 2 adult Eastern brown trees. Okay, I'm taking over now. I'm gonna just lift the hide back so you can get a little squiz at these boys. So you can see there's 2 boygies in there. Nice snakes. One really big one and one a little bit smaller. I'm gonna leave them to it because I don't want to spook them. But yeah, this is their setup. Lots of sticks to hide on and that little concealed hide. That hide is just the ambient temperature in here, which currently is 26 up there. So it's probably like 24-ish, 23-ish down there. Still not fully cooled yet, but we'll get there. Yeah, pretty basic, but hopefully it works. Alrighty, next one is one we can actually get out this time. It's not in shed, it's not a breeding snake at the moment. So this is one of my Queensland night tigers. Actually, technically my dad owns this snake, but I've had this one for about 4 years. We got this given to us for free off the ballot. A Queensland locality night tiger with a microchip. It so chill, smashes food. What are you doing? Really basic setup. And it's just got the 3 temperature boxes, little devil's ivy, and not too much. We're gonna get more in here, but for now, it's quite basic. We'll get this little guy out, I think. I like him a lot. I've only bred brown tree snakes once, and the only time I did, this was the father of the eggs. Well, I only got eggs once. I didn't actually successfully breed them. Okay, so this is my Queensland night tiger. Really placid. He's never been really showing any inclination to bite at all. Quite an old snake. He's been this size since I got him as well. Smashes food like there's no tomorrow. Got a good bit of girth on him. I like the red coloration on him. Interestingly, like you can sort of see some of the ventral scales up the top there are a bit yellowish, but then, right, ready for this? Look at that. Orange ventrals towards the back half of the body. I've never seen, I think I've only seen like sort of like white ventrals in Darwin and WA night tigers. It's sort of the Queensland ones really, the Queensland night tigers really that have those coloured ventral scales. I could be wrong, but that's just from what I've seen. I really like this snake. He's not named either. So if you've got a name for this nice reddish coloured snake, maroon coloured snake, I guess.
Terracotta.
Hello again. This is another tank. This is another Eastern brown tree snake tank. This is the female that we're gonna pair up. I'll talk about it more as we get around because I've got a bit to say about this one. I can feel that she's in this box, which is convenient. So this is the heated box. These 3 are set up differently. So I've got one box under the heat light. I've got one sort of over there just ambient and one on the heat map. That's because when I stack the 3, she gets behind and she knocks them over. So this is the Easton, and I like this snake because last year, I always thought this was a male. Last year she had some very suspicious lumps towards her back end. I think it was follicle development the more that I look into it. And we've resexed her since. And she's probed as a female. Yeah, and if she breeds, she'll make some real nice looking babies. Like, she's got some nice dark colorations in between the bands. Real good snake. I've had this snake for about, I don't know, I think only 2 years. It feels like I've had her for a little longer, but she's put on a bit of size since I got her. She's always been a bit of a biter, but once she's in the hand, she's not too bad. So yeah, this is her. Nice little Easton brown tree snake. I really like her. I honestly think Eastons are quite underrated. If I'm honest, like a nice looking Easton like this one. Hopefully she produces some eggs this season. She is gonna go up in that tank today once we set up this camera, and it's gonna be a good time. So here's her setup. I've got a devil's ivy and a little mock rock pot this time. The hide under the heat so it still gets hot under there. A bit of stick to climb on, some sticks up the top. Alright, in this corner next to the big tank we have this old unused mock rocked enclosure. It's not getting used by anything now, and I've got no plans for anything to put it in, so it's sort of just here eating up space. And then below that we've got we're prepared. We've got the old wine fridge converted into an incubator with the heat lights, PC fan, the thermostat. Yeah, and that is what we want to put inside the incubator. But yeah, anyways, onto this tank, my favorite tank. So, last adult snake in this room is my favorite, Kimberley Night Tiger. His name is Manuel. If you don't know him, he's the king. Come on, Emma, show the camera. Don't be afraid. We've got the basic setup again. We've got the 3 tubs with the varying temperatures. We've got 2 devil's ivies in here because he's a king, he deserves an extra. And this is only temporary for him. He's growing fast. Once he's an adult and once I get my other female back, which I'll discuss later, then I'm gonna have them in a big tank like that. Sitting right here, probably not here because there's not enough room. Sitting somewhere, big boy tank. We're gonna get him out and I'm gonna show you what he's all about. All right. Oof, look at that. That is Manuel. Can you see why he's the king? Can you? Yes, that's better, thank you. He's a beautiful male Kimberley Night Tiger. He's sitting on a poo. Good thing I got him out. He is a ripping snake. He's so pretty. He is the calmest snake in the collection. He handles fantastically. He eats great. He very rarely misses a meal, and just look at him. He is so pretty. I love these WA Night Tigers, and look at the fin, like it's got so much white in between those thin orange bands, and then he's got that nice, beautiful mango colored head. This is pinnacle for me. This is my favorite snake I've ever kept. Manuel, the king. I thought I might touch on the fact that beautiful snake like this in quite a simple setup, I could have him in a fantastic, nice big display tank. And I did have him in a display tank prior to this one, but I just found he's really adventurous. A lot of these boigas they love to stick their heads in places that they shouldn't. And when you're mock rocking enclosures, it's easy to miss small little bits that may be a little bit too sharp. I had this hide positioned on this ledge in his old tank, and I found that he was going in upside down, stuffing his head under the hide, scraping it on the rock, and you'll be able to see he's got a small little scar on his head from that. That was a tiny little abrasion for a while. We hit him with the flamazine, it came good, thank God. But I just find these tanks, it's a lot easier to look after them. There's not as much that could go wrong. Obviously there are things that could still go wrong, but it's just a little bit less worry. They seem to love it. They love these different temperature boxes. I watch him every single day. He's in a different height. He usually hangs out in the bottom one for the morning and overnight, but late afternoon he'll go into different temperature boxes. Some days he'll be in the wet box, some days he'll be in the cool dry box. It's just cool seeing them thermoregulate themselves. And then yeah, this is the bloke. This is a man that comes out and sits up underneath the UV rear. There's a fucking bug in there. He comes up and basks every single day, and it's just sick. In the old tank that I had a different night tiger in, I would have the UV on one end and the heat on the other end, and I would watch this night tiger come out and curl up under the UV in the afternoons. Not the heat, directly under the UV. It's in the open, like there's no other reason for him to curl up under there than to want UV. I'm not sure how much of a difference it makes, but I feel like if they're using it, it's got a benefit. And so for that reason, I give them all UV. For breeding these, I had 3 adult Kimberley night tigers. They all went on loan to Dave Taylor from Boyga, Australia, the one who gave me those sick ass babies. He ended up buying 2 of those Kimberleys off me. He bought one of the females and the male, but I got one female that is still on loan there in, not this season, next season, I will get her back. And when I get her back, Manuel might get some action, and I reckon the babies will come out looking fire. I could blab on about Boygas all day. I don't know how bored you get hearing me blabbing on, but I don't know, you can always just skip if you get bored. Yeah, this is my favorite snake. He deserves the most attention. But now I'll cut in those clips that I filmed of those other night tigers that I loaned to Dave before I loaned them to him. I've got these 2 snakes at the moment that I am loaning to a mate for a couple of seasons in a couple of days' time. And I know I'm filming a reptile room video, so I've got to show these snakes off before I lose them. So I'll just throw these videos in whenever I decide to make that reptile room video. But this is one of the 2 snakes that I'm loaning. This is a female Kimberley night tiger. It is a cracking snake. Look at the color between the bands. It's just such a clean white and orangish contrast. And then the head on this snake is just honestly beautiful. Both the male and the female are very large and they're very healthy. I'll show you the male in a second. He is stunning, but it'll be awesome if we can get some eggs from these snakes. Unlike some of my other Boygas, they're not really that bitey, which is nice. Yeah, I'm not showing the tanks they're in because they just got out of quarantine. So I've just had them in quarantine for about 3 months just to make sure that their health's all good. It'll be great to get some more Kimberley Boygas in the hobby. And my mate that I'm loaning him to has a lot more experience with Boygas than I do. So it makes more sense to me. And this is that big male Kimberley Boyga. He's like, I reckon he's over 5 foot long. It's a decent sized snake. He just has such nice, rich orange coloration. His head is beautiful, like that mango head. God, it is such a good snake. My beautiful black and white Kimberley night tiger. And I'm filming this video again on a different day to when I'll actually film my reptile room video because I'm also loaning this snake to the same person that I loaned my other Kimberleys to. This guy is a cracker. I don't handle him much because I don't want to stress him. It's quite a stressy snake, but he's getting freighted this weekend, so I had to make the most of it. Look at the colors on him. Such a beautiful snake. Every time I look at it, I'm like, oh my God. Look at the white ventral scales, these chocolatey, blackish, brownish bands, and like a yellowish throat and underneath the head. What a good snake. This is what I love about this water python. Cleaned his water out and now he's just doing water python things. I could sit and watch him do this all day. And it's cool as well. I don't know if you can see it, but when he's under the water, he has these little bubbles appear in front of his nose as well. Probably just to block the water off from getting under his nostrils, but what a man. I told you, when you clean the water out, they seem so much more interested in that first batch of fresh water. And you can sort of see that mottling as well on him. Alrighty, so now we are going to get onto the little Boyga nursery that you haven't had an update on since I posted that video recently with the unboxing of these babies. So we've got all 4 still, they're all settling in. You can see this tub is nice and humid. We're going to start off with the Kimberleys because they're closest. And I got to clean him out because he's dropped a couple of turds in there. There he is, Mr. Kimberley. Looking fresh as always. They're actually mellowing out quite a bit as well, which is great. But this guy is the best feeder of the lot. So yeah,
Kimberley night tiger, growing like a weed. They are significantly bigger than the Queensland babies, and yeah, this isn't even the biggest of the two. That one is bigger, but they're settling in really well. Obviously, keeping handling to a minimum, but I gotta keep getting them out because they keep dropping these poos, and they are actually the stinkiest poos that I've ever smelt. These baby boigas have got deadly poos. Feeding them weekly at the moment, small pinkies. Great snakes. This snake is gonna look so good once it's big. Its colors are only getting better as it grows. I don't know, it looks more washed out on this phone camera than it actually is. It's a good snake. This Kimberley is also unnamed, so I've named the other Queenslands. We've got Chiquito and we've got Flick. Those are the two that I've got named. These two Kimberleys are unnamed, so I need some suggestions for the comments below on what to name these little rippers. We're gonna clean him out and we'll get on to the next one. Before I get into this one though, I realized I forgot to say in the last video when I unboxed these snakes, I got these from Dave at Boiga Australia. Make sure you follow Dave on Insta. He's the wizard of the Boigas, and I got these cracking 4 little snakes from him. He's currently got one of my Kimberley night tigers, and he's also who I sold 2 of mine to. So yeah, if there's gonna be anyone that does some awesome stuff with the Kimberley night tigers, it's gonna be him. So make sure you follow his Insta. This is the other Kimberley Boiga that I got off him. This is the biggest baby Boiga that I've got. Like, compared to all the others, he is significantly larger. He's good. It's another one of the other Kimberleys, but I noticed recently something sort of weird on him was this. He's got a sort of like a kink on his heart. It looks, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what it is. It's weird. I took it to the vet and I got it x-rayed, and chill out. And they weren't sure what it was either. So they said keep an eye on it. Yeah, he's eating still, and obviously I'm not handling him unless I absolutely have to. But yeah, I'm really hoping that it doesn't progress and it's not anything significant, because this is a big, healthy snake. Of all the 4 to get a weird kink happening and to be able to survive it, this would be the one that's going to survive it. This is the strongest snake out of the clutch as well. I'm shaking like I got Parkinson's at the moment. But yeah, hopefully he comes all good. All right, so now we've got this weapon. You might notice as well, this is something different since the last videos. I've now got these toilet paper rolls in here as well above the mesh in their little tubs. So that just provides them another little arboreal hide, and I do actually see them using it. The only snake that doesn't have it currently is that Kimberley I just had out, and that's because it pooed in its one the other day. So yeah, I've just got that in there just to provide him something extra. I might have spilled his water. But look at this bad bugger. This is Chiquito, which I named from somebody in the comments in my unboxing video. He's got beautiful chocolate ventral scales, those really strong chocolate bands. This is a good snake. This is, I don't know. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it's my second favorite of these babies. I really, really like him. Still, he's the only one that hasn't eaten unassisted. He smashes food as soon as you put it in his mouth, but I still haven't gotten him to take it drop or tongue fed yet. All the others are smashing their food, but like, compare this to the last video when I unboxed them and see how much bigger they are. This guy was the smallest of the lot, and now he's bigger than the Kimberleys when we first got him. And it's only been like maybe a month or 2 months since that video, Max. So yeah, they grow real big, but that growing is going to speed up heaps once they get off these pinkies and onto some more nutritious, calcium-rich hoppers and some stuff with a bit more bone structure. He's a mad dog. Okay, last but not least, we have Flick, one of the Boigas, and I named him Flick. It's sort of a cute name, but it's because every time I get him out, he flicks his poo all over whatever I'm wearing. Anywhere in the immediate vicinity of wherever I'm handling him just gets flicked with poo. So I thought it was an accurate name. He's not looking as good as he usually would because he's currently coming up to a shed, which is exciting because it's a sign that they're growing. I'm gonna leave him, I'm not gonna handle him. But yeah, he's a bit dull, but you get the idea. Growing as well, look, there's just a size reference for you. I'll weigh these snakes as well. Maybe not this video, but I am gonna weigh these snakes again and I'll be able to compare how much they've grown in weight. So that wraps up this snake room, the inside snake room. We've got all the non-venomous and weekly venomous snakes in here. And now we're gonna head outside to where I keep a couple of venomous snakes, which is gonna be exciting. So we'll see you out there. Alright, so now we are out in the venomous snake room, which is outside. The reason it's outside is because Mum doesn't let me keep venomous snakes inside the house. At the moment, I'm only keeping 3 species of elapid. You can see there's a lot of room for expansion. I wasn't really going to show this room off, but I don't know, I figured it's important to show because as these reptile room videos progress, you'll be able to see how this room evolves over the years. This is probably my favorite tank that I currently have. It's not 2 tanks, it's 1. It used to be 2 separate tanks, but now it is one 8-foot long tank for my... we'll get to that. We're going to start off with the red belly. I've got to change all their waters and get some poos out. So we'll do the red belly first, and then we'll take him out into the sun. And so there he is. He's quite jumpy in the cage, but once he's out, he's a very friendly fellow. Okay, so this is my red-bellied black snake. They're an iconic species, found throughout a lot of Eastern Australia. They're definitely one of the most iconic species. And I've got this snazzy little snake hook, thanks to Board and Hooks for hooking me out with a bunch of hooks. It's actually, honestly, it's getting a bit small for this snake because he's growing really fast. Being an elapid, he's getting fed a lot because they've got a lot faster metabolism. They're a lot more active than a lot of those pythons. And so he's growing a lot quicker. He's probably about 2 foot long now. He was literally a young neonate when I first got him. The thing I like about this snake the most is that he's got this beautiful brown nose, and the flanks on him are so nice. They used to be called crimson-sided snakes. And that's because if you look at his ventral scales, the ventral scales themselves aren't actually that red, but the red is mostly on those sides. It's one of people's main first elapids that they get. But for good reason. They're a good snake. They're really easy to look after, great feeders, and they're very easy to handle and they're a good beginner elapid. When he flattens out in the sun, he does that nice head flaring that they're known for. He's currently only in a 3 foot long tank. Eventually the goal is to have him in an 8 foot as well, the same as the other snake. I want all my elapids to have a lot of space to move around, and they all deserve a lot of space. They're really active snakes. They need a lot of space to move around. So hopefully in the future we can get some more 8 foot tanks for this one. You guys have probably been spoiled with red bellies on the channel. I think I show them in almost every video. It's good because we live in an area where they're one of the most common species. They give birth to live young, so it would be really cool to get a partner for this one. I'm unsure of what sex it is, but down the track it'd be cool to get a partner for this snake and breed it and get some live babies coming out on camera. That'd be so cool. I'll let him sit in the sun for a bit and get some UV, and then we'll get on to the next snake. So you can see the red belly's in quite a simple setup. Again, the Corpetan's sphagnum. He's got a hot hide, a cool hide. He can also get under that log. Just keeping it basic because in terms of getting the snakes in and out, it's just a lot safer to have things that are easier to hook in and out. If I, at the moment, have a really elaborate, nice tank with lots of plants and stuff, it makes it difficult to get the snakes in and out. And the snakes also trash live plants. Elapids, like red bellies and stuff, just mangle any live plants you put in their tank. I found out. So for now, this is what it is, but wait until you see the final form once he gets a bit bigger. It'll be better. Just want to shout out Board and Hooks as well for giving me a bunch of hooks for the snake room, and also to Survival First Aid to make sure I've got bandages with me for these venomous snakes. I've got bandages above the tanks as well, just to make sure that in case of the worst case scenario. Next snake now for this room, and the second last snake of the video, is going to be my baby Colette's black snake, which is a good one. So we're going to get it enclosed to the exact same as this one. So shout out to Redback Customs for building me a new tank for the Colettes. And then eventually, yeah, what I want to have is 3 of these. One there and one up top. So we can have the red belly, the Colettes, and the Mulga. And like, let's say I want to pair them in the future, I can have a divider down the middle and have a male and a female on either side. And then in breeding season, just take out the divider and Bob's your uncle. So there he is. He's on just dirt Corpete at the moment. It's not ideal, but once he gets this tank upgrade, he's going to be in in a more natural substrate, it's going to look good.
So the next venomous snake that I've got is Collette's black snake, Pseudechus colletti. These guys are found out in the black soil in remote central Queensland. They're endemic to those black soil plains. They shelter down the loose soil cracks and stuff. So when I get this new tank set up in a week or so, I'm gonna have a bunch of nice sort of underground crevices for them, which I think will be good on some nice dark moon sort of soil. That's the plan. I've kept a few collettes over the years. I used to have a big one that was 2 meters long. That was a great snake, but I ended up having to sell that one. Oh, he's pooing. I ended up having to sell that one so that I could buy my Kimberley night tigers. But now I've got this beautiful little juvenile. He does hood up a bit. He definitely bites, so I definitely don't want that head to get too close to me. He's pooping on me. The worst thing about these snakes is the poo. Yeah, so interestingly, the red bellies that you just saw give birth to live young, but Collette's black snake is an egg-laying species, which is interesting. Some black snakes lay eggs and some give birth to live young. You can see those vibrant orange colors on it. It's a really, really good snake. I do love black snakes. I really want to get a nice reddish colored spotted black snake down the track as well. That'd be awesome. But like, have a look at the colors on its ventral scales as well. They're a really, really nice colored snake. You can see why everyone loves them, and there are a lot of people out there that do like keeping collettes. Like the red belly, this collettes has grown so much since I got it in August last year, so I haven't even had this snake for a year yet. Obviously you don't want to overfeed elapids because they do get fat and it does shorten their lifespan, but last but not least is my Brigalow themed mulga snake enclosure for my Brigalow mulga snake. He is growing like a weed, and you can see we've got the nice log, we've got the king brown bottle there, 2 heat lights, and this is his full tank. He's got hides down each end, a bit of grass cover. There he is under his log, looking good. This is the biggest elapid that I've got. This is my mulga snake, my St. George king brown snake. And he is a very large, very healthy snake. I love this snake because I love the setup that he's in, and I love mulga snakes. He has grown, every time I look at him, I'm like, Jesus, he has gotten so much bigger. When I first got him, which was about 2 years ago, he was, again, like 2 foot long, maybe just above 2 foot long, and now, yeah, he's an adult mulga snake size. He's definitely sexually mature, which is cool. Unlike a lot of the other localities, Brigalow mulgas don't get quite as big, so if you compare something like this to the Darwin or the Kununurra localities, they can get upwards of 2.5 meters, which is crazy. He'll probably cap off at around 6 foot. Obviously it depends how much I feed him and stuff. And this is another one that I'd love to get a partner for, and love to breed. They're another egg-laying venomous snake. They're known for having the highest venom yield of any Australian snake. The venom isn't as toxic as certain other species, but it's just because what they lack in toxicity, they make up for in quantity. Like, it's good having boigers, because anyone that's kept boigers knows that, you know, they often skip meals and they can go off their food for a long period of time. So whenever I've got leftover mice, I just throw it to the garbage disposal, which is my mulga. I'm not sure on what I'm gonna name this snake. I think I want to call him Dundee. I'm fairly certain this is a female, but I've got to confirm. Given how long this video has already gone for, I decided I'm probably gonna just do the feeding in a separate video. Being winter at the moment, a lot of the snakes have gone off their food as well, so I decided I'm gonna wait a little bit for the feeding, and I'll just put a video out with all the snakes eating. So yeah, sorry if I got your hopes up. Alright, so that is the last of my snakes in my venomous collection. Hopefully you enjoyed watching the video. At the moment, black snakes are the most venomous that I'm allowed to keep being at home, but if this video gets 5,000 likes, I'll surprise my mum with an inland Taiping. You comment some reptile names below, comment any advice you've got for different ways to keep things. I'm always looking for different things to do, different ways to change up my keeping styles as well. And yeah, we'll be back to some herping videos soon.